You're, you're, you're now joining the people who are restoring their family wealth instead of giving it all to the university.
You're right there.
All right, so now we're all recording, should be all okay. Let's make it official. Welcome to the June 18th, 2024 Roads and Right of Ways Committee meeting. This is an open meeting of the Roads and Right of Ways Committee being conducted in a hybrid format. Please note that my phone's ringing and I'm going to shut it off. Meeting is being recorded, will be available for viewing on the town's YouTube channel afterwards. We have a member of the committee who has joined us via Zoom, therefore we'll be doing all votes and stuff with a roll call, including registering for the fact that we're actually all in attendance, and the public will be able to speak throughout the meeting as so at this particular, and remember, if you are in the Zoom meeting, your computer may become visible if you hit the wrong button. So with that being said, let's do a roll call. Alan Reinhardt.
Here.
Lee Saperstein.
Here,
Matt Lowell.
Here.
Bill Smith.
Here.
Ricky Eldridge.
Yeah.
Ed Gillum. He's here, he just had to take a call. For the record, we have two guests, two attendees. One is Tracy McDonald from the town. You hear us okay, Tracy?
Sorry, I keep having it on mute. I'm here.
Hi, thank you. And Cal Greenberg from Wisconsin. So first order of business would be to approve minutes from the May 21st, 2024 meeting. Anybody not had a chance to read them? Anybody have any questions?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Alan, seconded by Matt.
Yep.
That being said, for approval, Alan Reinhardt,
Aye.
Lee Saperstein,
aye,
Matt Lowell,
Aye.
Bill Smith,
Aye.
Nelson Eldridge,
No, I wasn't present.
abstained. And Ed Gillum is stepped out of the room, so he's going to abstain. Thank you. Any public comment that is not on the agenda? Nope. So we can jump right into the Sconset Bluff. We were going to have this as a topic to begin with, and then Tracy contacted me about an official complaint that's been filed to do with access and stuff. So I thought it best that we start out with her discussion and the input that she has, and then we can give you some findings on items such as the hazard that was moved by Lee and Alan. So Tracy, you want to go ahead?
Sure. So I had a complaint from a person who wants to remain anonymous, and they are longtime residents, and they were trying to access the Bluff Walk as they have their entire lives at the Fraser, I think it's Fraser Street entrance, which is marked as a public way with a little stone. And the abutting homeowner sort of yelled at them and said they were not on the proper path going in, and tried to obstruct their sort of entrance. And so she asked me to look into it, which I did. It got complicated from there. The town actually took Fraser Street, but one abutter is a land court property and owns technically to the midline. And then the other abutter is pretty much the entire sort of shell parking space that's there. That's sort of their access. And the path, from what I can see, which is the old Fraser Street, which I sent Bill some of the documents, kind of goes, what I think, through the middle, kind of through the middle left side of the shell parking area, and not nearer to the hedge where the stone was located. And I think she was trying to follow the path sort of in a straight line where the stone was located. And that person, I believe, is the land court side.
So I want to, I think I have a picture, I just want to verify it. And if so, Tracy, you can tell me if I've got that correct or not. So it might help in your description.
Where is Fraser Street? Where is that at?
How come I have?
Sort of- I
Trace,
think
where
it's
is that at? What number, roughly?
I think it's across from like Emily.
It is.
So here is,
Okay,
From what?
so that's down by Ritchie property area.
From, which one, Ed? What? street?
61.
think it might
be where Emily crosses over. It's
so it's 20, between 27 and 29.
If I'm gonna punch it in, what's the address?
Oh, it is.
27, 20,
What?
27
Right,
back.
it's 20, it's 27 and 29 Baxter. So this guy is the 27. And see where the stone is, she was originally feeling that the hedge was encroaching. That's originally when she made the complaint. She's like, well, aren't I supposed to walk that way? And the hedge is right in the way. I
These
just
new
learned how to,
So-
learned how to shoot. So Bill, do you have the one of the perimeter plans or whatever, that the taking plan I sent you?
Yeah, hang on a second, I can bring that up. And Alan can actually, I'll leave this up, Alan can talk about why that stone got placed there.
Right, I put that stone in myself. And, when I was trying to locate it, I saw the brush on the left-hand side. And so I put it sort of in the center of where I thought the roadway was. And there's one on the other end of that too. This is opposite Emily Street, by the way. So I put it on both ends, on the footpath side and this one on the Baxter Road side.
So, so what I think needs to happen, and I have reached out to the attorney, that the both attorneys actually that are involved. I think the plan was that the town would convey, reserving a pedestrian easement that's sort of laid out officially, and that hasn't happened. So, you know, technically the land court side, that guy does own to the midline. So usually what the town does in these cases is when they take it and it's land court, they convey the land court side and they retain the unregistered side and put the path there.
So this, Tracy, this is the other end of that.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Right, and so you can see the stone
Yeah, so
right here.
I think how she's feeling is like she was thinking, I can use this entire width. And instead she got flack like that she's not allowed to.
But what is she doing? Just walking as a?
She was just walking. She was walking straight with her dog
Where
like
is
she
she
always
supposed to-
does.
So where's she supposed to walk?
Well, this is the
Yeah.
thing. So, and why the homeowner did get upset about it, and you know, like I said, she's like basically a native. So it's like, I don't really understand either the circumstances surrounding it, but I do know for sure now that the town has taken it.
Tracy, can I just ask, do both people want to be anonymous?
The homeowners or
The
just the complainant? The
Uh,
complainant for sure does. The homeowners have attorneys that I've already spoken to.
Can I ask the homeowner's name?
Good question, if I can remember. Laughlin is one, Conan Laughlin. Hold on,
They're number 27.
I think so, yeah. And yeah, hold on. No, Laughlin's are 29. And a LLC C Days is number 27. And it was the 27 is who yelled at her.
So Tracy, I've got those plans, that you sent over, so I'll open up whichever one.
I think it's the taking plan that best kind of,
Okay, so let me, find,
On this one.
let's see, I've got the deed, I think I sent. We got the appeals of 2022.
so I think it's plan, it should say plan 2012-27.
Yeah.
Okay,
Who else
hang
is
on.
down? Dance now. Right, I know what this is. This is gonna be way back.
That one?
Yeah.
So I haven't
Oh,
pulled up yet. Hang on.
I've actually read this before. So, this was a judge's saying when he came out here, stuff like that. I don't remember that. I've read.
They new owners, Tracy,
I like that.
the 27.
Excuse me?
Are they new owners, like fairly new?
Yeah, I think they are. And
It's probably most of it. That-
You know,
No,
well, when you tell me.
20 no, actually 27 is owned since 2011
okay,
15 years.
and 29 has owned since 2019. And 29 incidentally is the land court parcel. 27 has the benefit of a special permit that actually names the taking in it for access.
Is this the one you're talking that you want to see?
Right, this is the one. Yep, that's right, Bill. Right, so see how parcel B4, that's sort of the unregistered side. And they have a special permit for access, you know, in that driveway you can see there. And that's pretty much the layout of the parking space, right?
What's the public piece there? Don't see very well. 83, parcel B3 or somewhere.
Should speak up so she can hear you.
It's B4. B4 is so, and I think it was 27 that said, said she couldn't walk it.
It's right down in Spill Drive.
But it's hard when you orientate to that with the actual photo. And so then I was like, well, maybe it was 29 that yelled at her because that's the land court side. And technically speaking, they own to the midline.
I mean, you can't even walk to the left of the
right.
marker. It's a 911. For those on the recall, a 911 alert because the system is down.
So it's a long way of saying that I think we're not going to limit the access. The town has taken it, and I'm going to work with the attorneys to try to calm the abutter down or whatever, and see what's going on here. And in the meantime, I think it probably should just be status quo. Hopefully they won't, be yelling at everybody.
We'll get a copy of that.
What?
We'll get a copy of that.
Yeah, sure.
A copy of that.
Yeah, I'll bicycle these out. Actually, we're talking about it now, so they're gonna be in the minutes anyway,
So I
so.
don't know who the LLC is.
So let me take this down a second and. The interesting thing from when you're looking at the photos. Is let me get back up and bring that up. Trying to make it unobtrusive and putting the rock on the north side, tucked in by the bushes. It's really not in the middle of the path for a specific reason, because it would have been in the shell driveway, correct?
Well, yeah, or it would have, what I did, I just took a look at it and said, okay, well, the only place you can walk is, to the right of all those bushes or the trees that are up there.
Bill, do you, what is a walking path on this? I mean, what is the designated walking path we're after on this, like as far as these numbers and all that, when that was up, I think.
I mean, if you go by the one that's down at the bluff side,
Right,
that one is sort of like below where that cursor is bouncing up and down.
right.
And so,
Is it possible this hedge is
pardon?
is it possible the hedge is an encroachment then?
Well, I don't know how big the hedge has gotten
It's
since
big.
Alan and then planted it.
Looks like they cut it back every year the same.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
it's kind of like that way
Well-
on Cabot and Grant up there that's.
in the right
Well, I also want to point out that the entire layout is only supposed to be 15 feet. That's not very wide.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's hard to say, like, is it a direct line from the stone that's here to the one that's down by the bluff? And if so, yeah, the hedge is encroached on it. And if in fact, the center line really is like at the edge of the driveway, that sort of lines up directly with the one that's at the bluff.
Yeah, I think that ultimately, if the town proceeds forward with, like a conveyance and an easement, or however we're gonna end up handling it, or just retaining that side, it means that the other half, so let's say from the hedge to the Jeep is 15 feet. Right? And that's the layout, the total layout. Well, then half of that would be land court, which I don't think is the case. So I really feel like it follows the line of the driveway to that stone.
I think it does.
So that edging. But inevitably, once we convey either side to both homeowners and we retain the easement for the path, which is why, by the way, the town takes these things, right? So to protect them. Because otherwise, for sure, the land court owner has to the midline. He could petition to eliminate it with the land court and close it up. So we don't want that to happen, right? So we work it out and we get a definitive, path line. And so that's what I've presented to the attorneys. And if that all gets worked out, then that means that whether or not the hedge is encroaching will be irrelevant.
Right, well, that would be good, Tracy. Can I just ask? I mean, this is existing conditions for many years, right? That
Yeah, right.
little that little curb thing there for the edge of the shells. I mean, as long as I'm thinking, Alan, you put that thing there because you didn't wanna put it in the driveway.
Might have to put it.
Yeah,
You'd
exactly.
have to have some pickaxe and everything to get into that, you know?
Right, well, and it seemed as though, because the house you notice is fairly close over there too.
Yeah,
So it looked as though the pathway should have been right where I put the stone, but as I said, I was totally doing it by eye.
yeah,
There were no markers.
but if we had our way, we would, you know, if this was like new. And they were blowing that driveway up, we'd say, move the curbing over. So that there's a delineated grass walking area, right? But that's not really the right thing to do.
Is there a problem just putting it in the driveway?
I think there needs to be a sign or something that says. Some way to say that walking along the edge of that is not, that's legal. I mean, this person that complained, I'm surprised they've owned the house for 13 years and complained. And this isn't, I'm sure that this isn't a real common,
It might have been the dog on the leash that bothered him.
oh, what?
Didn't
The
they say-
dog,
didn't
somebody
they
brought
say-
a dog?
Didn't they say they were walking a dog?
Oh,
Yeah, they were walking the dog.
So that might have been what was the reason.
I mean, this is not the typical access, like most of them have some space in between the bit properties, you know?
Maybe the marker needs to go in the driveway, if that's where it actually is.
If that's what we should do, I mean, if, you know, I'm just saying.
Or maybe we need an upright.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny you mentioned. it
Oh, I
because
see what you're saying, yeah, to the right a little bit.
When I was out there the other day following up on, Alan and Lee's work, and quite frankly, I wanted to go out, after Tracy called me, because I wanted to look at this. It was interesting, as I was walking down, there was several women that were on the bluff, and they were looking to get out.
Mhm.
And they were standing down by the stone in the bluff end, but they didn't know they were standing by the stone in the bluff end, because it's a flush mount.
Yeah.
And so the conversation was,
Okay.
I could hear them, they were saying, well, we need to get in so we can catch the bus or something like that. So we're trying to get back to the center.
Yeah.
And they were looking to exit the path. And so, as I was walking down there, I said, oh, this is a legal way for you to go out right through here. And I don't know, she dropped something or whatever. She looked down, she saw the sign and said, oh, if I'd have seen this, then we would have kept going. And what struck me was how times have changed, and in trying to be nice about things and accommodating, flat stones were put in. But we're beyond the days of people paying attention to that, or not trying to cover them up, or whatever. And so I think, depending on what Tracy finds out, it may be that it's gonna have to be an upright here. And it may
In this
be
particular case, an upright makes more sense because you're
And
not
it-
blocking
may
somebody driving
be-
over.
that if it isn't in
I didn't know the driveway.
the guy's driveway, if at the very least, the upright is at the end, at the edge of the driveway, so it's visible.
Yes,
And so you could then say you got a straight line from that upright to the other one down the other end.
some of the flat ones, the idea for the flat came.
I see it in, Lee, I guess.
So go ahead, no, it's not good.
Bradley,
How wide is the path that we're assuring people? 6 feet?
Big Bill.
yeah, go ahead.
My question is really to you and Tracy. Our committee is meant to be advisory to the town. And so, Tracy, do you have questions of us? And my second point is, if the stone's in the wrong place, should we move it?
Right,
I
so-
guess, Tracy, I would be waiting for you to tell us the result of negotiations with the attorney.
Right, so I think you're right. I mean, it is an advisory thing. I really brought it up because in conjunction with the identifying all the different access points, and if there is like a QR code now and everything. You know, I don't want this homeowner to be, you know, yelling at people. And maybe we deter them for now until we get it figured out, from using that as an access egress point kind of a thing. I don't know, but you know, it's gonna be a bit of time before it's actually worked out. And maybe it's a one-time event and maybe it's not that big of a deal. I will tell you that
That's my question.
I'm very knowledgeable of the path and I've exited there, but I've walked through the driveway.
I have to.
Phil?
So does
In
somebody,
as much as we have this on a plot plan, why can't we get a surveyor to come and put a marker down where the two ends of it are? And we know where the actual line is, rather than trying to, accommodate people and go from there. And then we can talk to lawyers, they can talk all they want, but this is the line on the plot plan.
there are neighbors in that area that use that path.
What's that?
I can tell you there's neighbors in the summer, neighbors that own property that use that path.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
we
So,
know,
I agree.
there's an official town line there. And we ought to start from that point and we ought to know where that is.
What do you think of that, Tracy?
We're all speculating right now.
I think if you stuck to B3 and you marked it out at B3, that's probably where the path is gonna be,
Okay, so you just need to,
right?
Uh,
Is that what I'm looking at? I just wanna double check I'm naming the
Well,
right one. Might be
yeah.
B4, hold on.
yeah, let's go back to the.
But if we had a surveyor that comes, we give them the plot, we give them the plans and say, what's the
So that-
boundary? He marks it out.
Well, that's the correct way to do it. That'll be.
Yeah, otherwise,
Actually, so yeah, it would be the
That'll
B4
be
side.
October.
yeah.
It would be the bingo 4.
Tracy,
Before.
Tracy, that's consistent with my notes from about 10 minutes ago.
We can
Yeah.
put the map back
You
up.
told us which side was land court and which side was just recorded.
Yeah, right. So that the B4 is probably where the path will ultimately go. But see, you can see that goes right by the guy's house, like it's so tight.
Hang on, let me get it back up.
B4 is gonna be right, we can't do a post right in the middle of this driveway. Right.
No, then we have a discussion.
I mean, I think the upright makes sense here. I mean,
Yeah.
but I wanted to just say, going back many years. The flat stone kind of came up as a solution to some of these places where we have these agreements where people can park.
Right.
I mean, you can't have a stone in the middle of people parking,
But
doesn't
that-
make any sense.
The upright.
This is
here
a little
could
bit
be-
different.
Could be
This
really into
could
the
be-
driveway.
Well, if it was to the right of the edge of the corner of the hedge and the
But
thing.
it's sounding like from B4, it's further over it.
No, I understand that,
Okay.
but I mean, otherwise, you might as well just move the driveway, but I mean, I don't think we need to get. into that.
B4 is a tight one.
Yeah,
It's closer to the guy's house, not further.
I know, but
So it's gonna be 6 feet in the driveway.
I think we should just put the thing where people can actually see where they're supposed to go and have a
It's
conversation.
almost, when you're out there, if you're at the bluff side, the bluff marker is almost. I don't know if you're moving the mouse around right here, so there's two arrows. One says bluff walk and the other has a Latin lawn. And it's almost like the flat is there.
Flat, I think it's on B3.
And the flat on the Baxter Road side is like right here where that other Latin line is, right here with my.
See, it's more marking out B3 than B4.
Yeah,
So,
so yeah,
well,
so anyway,
I have another thing to bring up. If it's actually a way, I mean, and they have a problem with it, do we make it look like a way from point to point? I hate to say that, but I mean, do you make the whole way look, I don't know, some different surface than grass? I don't know.
It's not a coincidence that the hedge was put there and the shell drive was put as it was.
yeah.
No, they were using the way as a drive. That was.
They're essentially trying to make that go away.
So Tracy, previously when we talked with the town about encroachments on Washington Ave, the DPW at that time, I don't know if they still do, they had, some sort of a contract with a surveying company. And so that's what they used, to survey the area to look for encroachments. When you're talking with, Drew, I was kind of hoping he'd be on here today. When you talk with Drew, can you find out if that's still a possibility? And does it make sense? That we follow, the suggestion, or it seems to make sense, everybody here in agreement, I believe, that we take, the suggestion or the offer, if you will, or suggestion to the town is to have the two plots reviewed, come up with where the actual right of way is, and that's where the marker goes. And it may find out that the hedge is encroached on it, it may find out that it's not encroached on it. But whatever, the only solution really is, like Phil said, is to look at it other than from a helicopter view and look at it from a surveyed view.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna work it out with the attorney. You know, that's what needs to be done. You know, I don't want both of these homeowners to get up in arms about it, but you know, we've got steps to do that have not been done, and then, you know, number 27 Baxter got a special permit based on those steps that haven't been followed through yet. So, you know, I gotta do some work on it. And in the meantime, like I said, if people walk on it, you know, it is what it is.
I wouldn't worry about it right now. Yell at them, we yell at them.
No, no, maybe not.
Dog's barking.
Gotta be a way there somewhere.
There's a lot of yelling in the summer. If they get yelled at.
Yeah, I know.
Two house lots down, you've got Calendar Way that isn't even opened up.
That's right. But does that exist anymore?
Yeah, it might not.
I think it's a driveway going in between two lots.
Yeah,
As they move the house
So,
from one lot.
all right,
to
so
the
what's the course of action? You're gonna check into Tracy and let us know,
But this
What-
is Washington Ave, right?
no,
Which one are we talking about? This is the Baxter Road.
yeah.
Yeah, so the Baxter Road for sure, I will follow back up on that.
I mean, we're doing a consensus of the board here. Everybody agree with Phil's suggestion? Anybody disagree with it?
Don't agree.
Right, so, rather than the vote, consensus is with the, right-of-way committee, believes what the course of action should be to have, the town review the plot plans, tell us where the path actually should be, and, if we need to move the marker, we move the marker. And if it makes sense to put an upright, that's what we do. Fortunately, Alan went out and checked, and we do have markers available,
Upright ones.
uprights. And, there's two different stencils on them, right, Alan? One's public way and footpath or something.
Yeah, right, public footpath.
Yeah, so, we have the capability of doing that, and quite frankly, we could reuse that flat one someplace else.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean.
The other thing-
I agree with, what you're saying. I just
Yeah.
think it's.
The other thing that
Need to
it adds,
put it in the driveway. That's kind of
No, but you can put it.
right on the edge.
the other thing that adds an issue to,
That's
the
what I.
dilemma is, I'll show you another photo.
Oh.
Let me see if I have it here. Yeah,
Bill,
yeah,
Really good one.
I think Tracy, might want to talk with the landowner that if the right of way is established and we decide to put an upright marker in there, would that be acceptable to the landowner, or would they prefer us just to move the flat stone? Because body work on a car after you scrape one of those granite things can be expensive.
Yeah,
In other words,
and
I don't think it's
destroying
up to the
town
landowner.
property can be expensive.
It's not up to
Tracy,
the landowner.
please find out what the landowner's druthers are for marker once we establish where the right of way is.
There was a lot of collaboration though originally when this got.
Well,
Okay.
it's very similar to a conversation years ago at the end of M Street up at Tennessee, where it goes down to the water. And, some people there did not want the upright to go in. It's, right next to Beverly Hall's house.
Oh, yes, I remember,
So, very contentious.
but it did go in.
But the committee, was adamant that it needed to be an upright. And had it not been an upright, by now it would be covered with brush. The other thing that adds to confusion out at this location. And let me bring up this other photo. I happened to notice this when I was there. And that is the marker, very similar to the markers that are by Don Allen Ford. Can you see? Oh, yeah. And so I don't know if the property owner put that to show people walking down that path so they wouldn't stumble on it or what, but it, you know,
It looks like an irrigation box.
it is an irrigation box, but it's a driveway marker that's put in.
Yeah,
So it exacerbates a consternation of, you know, is that supposed to be a lot line? You know, it just adds to the confusion.
Can I make a proposal that we actually take a vote on this?
Yeah.
That we strongly recommend that an architect lay out the lines as shown on the plot plan,
A surveyor.
So-
a survey.
Rich
And
is
so
said
we go
land
on, we
surveyor.
go on record,
Yeah.
that it, you know, rather than,
Land
you know,
surveyor.
we go on record that this is what we strongly recommend.
All right, so let me see if I get this right. The motion by Phil to recommend to the select board that the town review the two plot plans at this location and determine where the right of way is. And
No,
With the services of a surveyor.
I think it more, I think.
yeah, so. through
More
the survey-
pertinent that the
okay,
town
through
just get it
surveyor, and move the markers as necessary to substantiate that.
To reflect the surveyor's findings.
Yeah,
Right.
so that's your motion?
That's my motion.
All right, do we have a second?
Second,
Second by Snooki. Any comment, let me take this down so we can see everybody.
One of the. I believe that that row of hedge is right in the pathway.
Well, that will be something to talk about
Yeah, exactly.
at a future point.
Actually, Alan, I'm not so sure if it's B4 and not B3. I think the hedges are in B3,
Yeah, that's what I think.
which now is not part of this anymore.
Yeah.
But if we want B4 to be what we're after, and we don't care if the hedge is
Yeah.
encroaching, because
All right,
we
so
can't use
Nathan-
it anyway.
Been made and seconded. Any more discussion? So roll call vote.
We, the public.
Alan Reinhardt,
Aye.
Lee Saperstein,
Aye.
Nat Wall,
All right.
Bill Smith,
Aye.
Nelson Eldridge,
aye,
Ed Gillum,
Aye.
Bill Greeter, aye. All right. So we will convey that.
Quite frankly, all these passes need to be surveyed.
Tracy, what will,
To be honest with
would it be cleaner if we send it through you since you're the real estate person, or should we go directly to select board?
I guess you can probably send it through me and I'll see whether what I have to put it on, if I have to put it on an agenda or what I have to do.
Okay. All right, we will do that.
And just throw in a little side note to this. Is just trying to find out, I don't know what happened on this particular taking, what the original agreements were with previous owners, was there collaboration, like, you know.
This is 2010 town.
That's right, I kind of figured this is So
It's a while,
you just don't wanna lose sight of that.
before the person in 2011 bought the property.
It's, yeah, and that's key to. You don't wanna like lose what we did to get this to be legal, because they were not really recorded and all that kind of stuff. So you wanna remind them, the new owners of this, and also remember that ourselves when we come up with new problems, that's all I'm saying.
It'd be interesting if they bought it in 2011, they should probably have an fairly up-to-date survey.
Yeah.
Unless they just bought it and didn't care where the plot.
And that hedge has probably been there since,
Well,
I had to say when I was a kid.
had to be.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's,
Is that Baker's old property in 29 or 31? Which one was Baker and Ritchie? I'm getting
I,
confused.
I don't know, but
That's-
the
I
have to
one
drive
with
out
the
there to see.
hedges
that's
I
with
cut both.
Natalie
that's
Gates
thirties.
and Mrs. Brush.
All right, okay.
Richie was.
I used to cut
So
that.
the other thing, when I went out to look at this, I noticed a couple of things, and to bring to the board's attention, and we were talking about, I'll bring this up. And share the screen. So this is the start of the path.
Where are we at now?
And this is at the beginning where the path officially, when you come off of Front Street and actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So this
with the
is,
Holland.
Yeah.
so this is the beginning.
Okay.
And so you can see that the public marker needs a haircut on the path.
Bill, could you repeat where this is?
This is at the start of the bluff walk
Okay,
after you come off of Front Street. So this is the beginning, the official beginning of the path.
Is the path in the right place or not because of those?
Well, so you can see up, and I've got another picture of it, up in the,
That's the sign.
right here by the black T-shirt, is the sign that, and I'll show another picture of that.
Okay,
Is the sign that shows the beginning of.
Is,
the
is
path.
there any printing or anything on that vertical post? I don't
Yeah,
see
it says
it.
public way,
Okay.
yeah. A public
is this
path.
where the lady, I forget her name was?
No, we're not there, I got that.
Oh, okay, okay.
So this is. So this is the sign that was redone by the group with the new regs and rules, if you will. And you'll notice it too needs some work around it to get rid of the brush and stuff that's starting to go around it.
Sounds like you better get that more on that.
So that was the second thing, and then. The thing that struck my eye was, besides that, was notice the exposed roots. And, so I started down the walk, and the first thing before we got there is this is probably only 4.5, 5 foot clearance now. Because this tree has come over. And
Is that
before
where
when we did the
is that
walk,
where that limb was hanging in the?
this isn't even a limb, this is, that limb that goes across is like a log, this is just, the
Oh.
tree is
Right,
starting to grow and it's blocking the path.
right.
So that's the second item, and then further down, the roots that we had talked about
Yeah.
are all there.
That basically needs maintenance.
And so, I think part of the conversation, and maybe we can invite. Make sure that Drew can get it on his calendar, and see if there's, whether they put, chips down there,
Raise it.
whatever.
Yeah.
To be able to walk over there, because they're certainly not gonna cut the roots out.
No, I would raise it up
Right.
with
Dirt.
anything. I
Right.
mean, yeah,
Yeah, and so it would seem a low-cost solution is,
dog poop bags. Throw them right up.
yeah,
They're everywhere.
so anyway, I just
Still
wanted
can't believe
to
it.
bring that.
Sidewalks on Main Street.
Can I just say, I don't know if you are aware, but the town has a new sort of requisition request system. They have this click and fix and all different And you can just click it and put in a request.
Right.
So in terms of the trimming and everything, you could do that. You know, the roots are a different, probably a little bit different story, but certainly you could put in a
right.
request for the DPW to trim back all those trees and everything.
They just roll that back out. The town had done away with subscribing to that. When Rob McNeil was here, it was an active thing, it went away. They just re-announced it this week. And all of a sudden, because I subscribed to it, all of a sudden, notices started popping up. And so it appears the way that they're handling it is you put it in, somebody's monitoring that application. They're referring it to a supervisor for the DPW. And he sends it to whatever departments need in the open to work order. And whoever put the request in gets a notice that the town is following up on it. So I was actually gonna mention this to Carol, that it might be something that as they're out there and trying to marshal some support for stuff that they use this application. Did you get a record of when you put the request in? And at first you think, well, it's gonna be a burden to the DPW, but from a worker's point of view, it'll show the administration, they got a lot of work to do and they need a budget and whatever.
And you can take a picture.
Oh, yeah, you take a picture, it allows you
Yeah.
to support it
No,
with
I
a
think
picture.
it's a really appropriate way to handle something
Yeah.
like this.
I mean, I just put one in, 2 days ago, or the day that it rolled out, because I brought something up at the select board meeting and under public comment. Been 2 weeks, haven't heard back. So I opened a ticket up and all of a sudden I heard something back, you know?
Yeah, Bill, the DPW has, ever since we resolved the fact that it is a public way, the DPW has been maintaining that. You know, they've been trimming, they've been going in there once or twice, or a couple of times a season. The C-click fix, the
Mhm.
thing that you're talking about, I hope they do a better job. I have the old one on my phone and I'm still getting things from something I turned in 5 years ago. So,
But you can select it so that it is area specific. too.
yeah,
So you can
exactly.
avoid,
Exactly.
you don't wanna hear about Wauwinet, you just don't select Wauwinet.
This is probably a great fixed idea for a little specific problem, but if there's multiple ones that, you know, you think it might be nice just to have it may even carry more gravitas coming from
Oh, yeah,
us who work toward it. They have, you know, done all at once, rather than them go out and just cover up some tree roots and disappear again, and when there's
Yeah.
probably a dozen things on that path they need to do, so.
All right, anything else on that particular item? So Tracy, Snooky is here. And he has a document, I'll let him talk about it, and it may be something that you'd be very interested in having a copy of.
Yes, Tracy, it's a copy of the land court records from 1930, I believe, when Mrs. Mitchell tried to close the footpath and it wound up in court and she was told to leave it open.
Okay. That's good. I would like that.
Okay,
This is
So,
down at,
What would be the best way for you to get it? Put it in an envelope and drop it at Broad Street or Two Fairgrounds or what?
You can put it in well, I actually have a registry box at the Registry of Deeds, but if you can email it to me, that would be good. At my town email.
You see what it looks like, because it would be scanning and we'll see how it would come across.
Is it big?
It's 1, 2.
I would say you can give it to Katie Cabral at the town admin office.
Okay.
And
Maybe they'll-
I'm in there pretty frequently and I'll just grab it next time I'm in.
They can scan it and send it to you.
This is
Yep, they
the,
can do that too.
this is the property that right now is set to transfer, and yet, and there's a pool, there's a big dispute over the pool. That's where that pool, it's, well, there's more than one now going in on the block for trying to.
You're talking about 63,
Right,
or 60.
right, it's somewhere,
That's one of the spots that you walk out next to Brecker's old house, or
well,
wherever
no,
it used to be.
but it's before, yeah.
Yeah.
Bill, could you identify the property we're talking about?
You know, you know what property it is?
It's,
You pull out a
Two
bakery,
houses down from where the path ends now.
yeah,
it's
A
in,
That's
great
right.
big one.
yeah.
it's the old, Cashman's property.
Yeah,
Already got the GIS?
It's across from the tennis court, where the tennis court is, it's
Oh.
now been sold as 2
Okay.
lots, yeah. It's that one.
Excuse me,
Because-
are you saying they're starting up with the pool again, the new property owners?
No, I'm not saying that that's where the dispute was about. I don't know, I really don't know the resolution of that, to be quite frank.
Yeah, because they pulled it. Okay, thank you.
There's another one on the bluff, I think it's put one in, from what I saw, but I don't know.
All right, so let me,
I've got permission anyway to do that.
go across the street from me on Sankey Road.
You
all
know,
right, so.
I know. The other one I think is down there, this actually. People don't see these, I think.
I don't have my mouse, so this is not gonna be pretty.
Flip flop off.
One of them. Victoria septic system. Extended the town sewer so they could put the swimming pool back.
All right, Baxter Road, what number do you think it is?
Simple.
Go down to
About
about,
in the
you'll
seventies.
see it,
Bayberry.
There it is.
Comes right out.
it's
Yeah.
this property right here, 63.
65?
3.
63.
The one that's a beautiful front porch, it goes out.
That's
It
61.
has a lawn in front of it now.
It's 63. Singers.
Singers.
Oh, I'm sorry,
it-
I was thinking 71.
No, it was Cashman.
Is what I was thinking.
Then
No,
it
you're
was
right,
Singer,
you're right, never mind.
And now it's
I'm
about to be
completely-
someone,
I'm
it's
10
about to be
houses in the
someone
wrong
new,
direction.
that's, is the new owner.
Yeah,
So Lee, 63, Baxter.
yeah, that is the cross from Honeyfields all.
And the judge
Yeah,
came,
that first house
I know exactly what you're talking
in that
about.
white spot was Bill Honeyfield's.
Yeah. Yeah,
But,
no, I know where you are
that
now,
was super
sorry
cool.
about that.
And the other, actually, so while we're talking about Baxter and the stuff, I don't think we ever talked about after we did that site walk that time. And we looked at the old pump facility that was on Baxter. And you took it to the little water commissioners or whatever, and they filled that all in. What number was that?
That's been taken care of.
Yeah, I know.
No, it hasn't. There hasn't been a damn
hasn't.
thing done yet.
Oh, well, I thought Mark said,
that's on 71, I think,
Yeah.
between 71 and 3 maybe.
That's the old Honeywell.
No, this is up right straight across from Bayberry Lane.
All right.
Right, it's that right there, you got it, but.
So
Yeah,
it's between
the damn thing
73 and
done on it.
71.
yeah, I remember that's,
We brought it up, Alan.
It's
and
that one
he
before that.
Said that spraying was gonna mix up just plain mud and pour in there. And they haven't done it.
That's where the driveway circles in over the,
Yeah,
And so there was a well, underground well area. And when you walk out,
well, it was
that you
dangerous.
can actually look down at the cores that's there.
Right, it was dangerous, that's what was
Yeah.
the problem there.
All right, so. I was in error, it hasn't been corrected, it's still as an issue,
And
so,
that's on 71, not 73. Oh, my glasses, I didn't bring my glasses.
yeah.
there's one over on Sankey Road too.
So maybe at your next water commissioners meeting, you can ask if they're gonna Take care of it.
Are you sure? I thought you spoke with, you brought it up at 2 meetings ago, didn't you? With Mark? And he said he was gonna take care of it, right?
Yeah, he said last fall when we brought it up, he was gonna take care of
We
it,
still haven't been taking care of
and it
it.
still hasn't been done.
All right, I'll speak
Rattle
with,
his cage.
I'll speak with Mark. So I said number 71.
Yeah, just tell him the 2 booster pits.
Yeah, all right.
They know where they are because we took the check valves out that were in the main out there. Mark was there when we did it.
Okay, any other issues, concerns about Baxter Road? Or the block in general? Since that's our main topic. Um. So the action items will be, we'll get the letter of support, for the survey, and, we'll get this to the town so they can forward it to Tracy on that old document. And, I hate to say it, but I think, we're gonna have more discussions as things go on some of these access points where the flats just no longer are meeting the requirement of
Yeah.
people being able to bail out when they want to, and not get
And
into.
also the flats, they may not know, is a flat on this side of the path, is in the middle of, you know, they don't know how wide the
Should-
street is.
Should we arrange with DPW or whoever does this to make a few more vertical posts so that we have them in inventory? Because my recollection was in the past, we talked about, oh, we need a vertical post. Oh, we don't have any.
That's the other way
We
around.
do have.
We got the
we have
vertical.
8 of them.
Eight in inventory, okay.
We have 8 in sitting.
There's not having
And
flat.
can I just, on this topic, let's just pretend that we started this over again with this conversation about the dogs or whatever. If there was a vertical post at the path, but not at the driveway, I bet you that it would be easier for people, because most people are not coming in from the road, they're coming out from the path. Would you agree?
Yeah.
And that probably is a little bit more of a focus of like that nostalgic, you know, you're walking and you see it. And you can also put something in writing if we ever wanted to put something for people to read, we'd be able to go there too. Like, you know, you have 2 for 1 with the post and then some kind of, you know, whatever. I'm just saying if that was something that somebody wanted to do.
I think you're right, the more people are exiting than entering, because the ones that are entering pretty much know where the path is.
They know where they're
Yeah,
going.
They live out there.
When you get to that path, I hate to say it, you guys, but I got a little lost myself with you out there, and I should know what I'm doing, but it's different. Like when you're in there, you're sort of like, where am I right now? You know?
What we might move to in the future though, is when you have a post, the post still doesn't really tell you that it's a post in the middle, is it
Yeah.
the side, it doesn't really
Yeah.
tell you exactly if you got struppy, you know, property owners.
Yeah.
We might have to end up putting like a bound in the ground to the side of the post, so that is.
Stepping stones all the way to the street, are we gonna get to that?
Well, no,
David.
but just at the beginning, so you at least know, okay, here's the way, but this is the path. I mean,
The arrow. Isn't there an arrow on one of the?
It's an awful lot of infrastructure you're talking about. I mean,
Especially for a group that has no budget.
well, in the old days,
Well,
you put
it's
a pin
not-
down in the ground and put a thing on it, but it's.
So speaking of the stones, I wanna bring this back up, that, the work that, Lee and Alan did. And so. Everybody loves a before shot. So this was the hazard at the end of the path. As you can see, there's a little gully there and the stone was there, and, so that was the before. And let me get to the after. And I made it so big, I can't see. And here is the after.
Oh,
So it's off to the side.
Mhm.
so it's pointing over to the fence, or they can just go straight to the fence.
So, yeah.
That was one of the considerations, you know, about
So,
which way
so
to
far,
face.
nobody has tried to climb the fence and go over. but
Okay, good.
That's one of the dilemmas of placing the flats. So that'd be, at some point, that probably will be somebody's issue.
If we remake those flats, maybe we wanna have flats that have some arrows
Carol?
to the side of the.
Yep,
building.
Before I go, I just wanted to tell you, this is the first time, Tracy, I've ever heard anyone scream it, walking, right, to the path. Yes, people are not happy when people are doing yoga on their lawn or sitting in their lawn chairs. So when you talk about footstones, I really don't think we have to go that way. And I think it ruins the beauty and the nature of what this path is. So I'm gonna do a little investigating quietly, and if I learn anything, Tracy, I'll let you know. But I've walked that path many times, and the homeowners are waving. I mean, they understand this is the path. And again, this is the first time I ever heard anyone scream at someone. I'm wondering if something else is going on there. But thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Carol. I'm,
Maybe
I'm sure you're right.
maybe the dog was on the leash.
Should we walk in the dog?
Maybe the dog was not leashed. That's often the problem.
So, there was another place. Actually, we'll be looking at it more, I'm sure, but, in doing the walk around out there, there's a couple, you know, and I forget which street it is at, but it's the access point. That's really there's a wide driveway. And then there's a wide spit of grass to the side of it. And it's probably 3 or 4 cars wide when you combine the driveway and the grass. And the decision way back was not to have a stone in it.
This is at Rosalie.
I think so, yeah.
That's exactly what.
And so.
There is a stone at
Yeah.
the back part.
Oh, yeah.
Back part of
At the
yeah,
back part,
that's where I was referring to earlier.
but not at the front part.
What's her name?
And
I
what
didn't think of it.
What struck me was, from the street side now, the day I was out there, the driveway was full of cars. And the grass strip was full of cars. So, street side, if you were walking down, you'd never know that there's a public path to the block, number one. And secondly, if you're coming from the path, you're staring at a parking lot.
Maybe it was
That was full of cars.
you think it was a one-off thing like a party?
The what?
Well, you think it was maybe a one-off?
I don't know,
thing, someone's
but it's
having a
just
party
something-
or- yeah.
You know, when we're out there, somebody else observe it and see it. Somebody might have been having a party, who knows?
Right.
But if it's becoming an everyday thing, then
What's her name?
we need to put something on the street. If it's just a one-off, then it's just a one-off.
Well, you get down Baxter Road. And you start at number 1. You have encroachments. In Baxter Road, both sides here, all the way to the Coast Guard fence at Sanctuary.
Yeah.
That the DPW needs to do something about.
Yeah, but suppose, from what I heard, well, we heard actually when Drew came in, that they were starting to do enforcement on encroachments, and there's so many of them, I don't know what their priorities are, but
I mean.
They haven't started up in the Lincoln Circle area, because I'm noticing the boulders are not just small, but they've now gotten pretty big.
Bigger, I
They've
mean,
gotten
that's-
bigger. There's some big boulders there now, and it's because of all the construction.
Yeah.
They don't want the construction trucks parking there.
They are gonna still be there when the construction's done. I guarantee.
Well, they
Oh,
won't,
yeah.
they stay.
So it's not just that. That's the easy.
So we need to
excuse.
put a yellow stripe around it.
It means
Then it also up the ticket.
it's just-
Makes
Yeah.
money.
they didn't have sprinklers in.
So anyway, it just says we're,
places years
because
ago.
I'm sure this is not the last time we're gonna visit the bluff, so just something else to keep looking at. I will say that the SROs are already heavy on duty out there.
Seems like there are a lot more of them this year. The community.
I don't know, I don't know how many that they've got assigned to Wisconsin, but.
Three.
there's
Three,
three,
three, but
so,
one at a time.
Oh, really? Wow. They're all over town. Must not be part
So,
of it.
yeah, the one that I saw, she was up and down Bax Road
I saw that.
twice while I was walking it, so.
I saw
Anyway,
one
all
of-
right, anybody have anything else on this or other business? No?
I mean, I could talk about some other stuff, but I'd rather not at the moment.
Yeah.
I've been talking to Drew. And we have to, I'm gonna talk to Art Barrow. And we have to figure out what we're gonna do with North Mill Street,
For Wood Street?
North Mill.
Yeah,
Okay, I don't wanna bring that up and not get all flustered here at this little group, but there's a whole bunch of different things and reasons that this has sort of become the new road from 1940 somehow, you know, and I had there is something in the decision of those properties, they're not supposed to be going left. And that we need to, that's gonna be a problem.
yeah, well, and
It is eventually gonna get solved, but it has to get revisited in multiple places.
Yeah.
Planning with the engineers, it was two different people, one for the town, one for the developer. It's land court property, all by one owner, blah, blah, blah. There's all sorts of stuff in there.
Talking
And-
about Woodland Hills, as they cross us there and into the next to the
No,
cemetery.
no. North
Go
Mill.
down.
Out of
Could you identify the street again, please?
The Mueller property.
The other side of the street there.
North Mill.
North Mill, okay.
North Mill to Prospect,
Right, it's the opposite sides, right. I know. Yeah, pretty well.
you don't expect the truck to come zipping out of there.
Well, that's that brand new subdivision.
Yeah, I know, but
In the last few years, right?
But that's,
Yeah,
when you said for the construction, it made me think of that,
right.
because that's supposed to go away after the, but, you know,
There's a
it
whole,
needs to go away after, like sooner than later,
there's a bevy of
Dangerous,
things
I know.
you know?
that the island departments either didn't enforce or fell by the wayside. And
It's,
some of it's trying to put toothpaste back in the tube. So for example, Matticat Road, all the construction that's going on, not just there, actually other places, I saw it on Pulpus. There's no room on the property for all the contractors.
oh, I know what you're talking
They
about,
park on the side,
yeah, just before
They just
North
throw-
pasture. they're
right in
doing
front of the old Chase Farm and Peter's Piles and all that stuff. And destroy all of that, they leave.
Yeah.
And then the town's stuck with dirt that washes into the roads.
Well,
Whatever happened
we
to,
have a lot of.
I know this won't make people popular, but remember there was a suggestion at town meeting, one of the more recent ones, to actually have people post a bond for construction on public roads to restore it. I don't know where that got squashed pretty quickly, I think, but
So,
that does, it actually in some ways makes sense to have, you know, if you're
That-
carrying up the public road,
Yeah.
restore the public road. Yeah.
yeah, there's a whole slew of different moving parts, like, for example, aprons. Okay? So you have the same rules for aprons, whether it's a second curb cut or primary, but what if the road's getting widened? Let's just say,
Right.
and we just put it out to edge of pavement, but now this is gonna get redone and fixed, and all of a sudden, 1 foot of your apron it needs to get dug back up again.
Right.
Like, it is a lot of attention to each property, but the reason I brought up North Mill is because the Prospect Street piece is also done on like Pat Tile's old house. They put a real nice apron, but that road needs to be widened there. that section to Mill.
And the apron's
And
taken.
yet the apron now is all brand new, beautiful, but it's in, kind of in the wrong place.
Right.
So now what? Like, there's just more problems, you know what I mean? And it's just difficult, like, it's not,
We need more surveyors.
it isn't that, I think it's. I already know why some of these things happen, I don't even wanna get into it, I shouldn't even brought this up.
Oh,
It's just, they're all different.
Yeah,
Every one of them is different, it's
A
not
lot of
about
commu-
enforcing, it's about paying attention and singling out, okay, this place needs to have something a little different than what we typically do. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're all a little bit unique to
Right.
their own
Right.
area.
One thing
That's
doesn't
all.
fit all, yeah.
But a lot
I-
of communities also, when you get a building permit or whatever, part of the process is you put a knockoff pad on your site.
Oh, you're talking about yes.
And so you
yeah.
don't drag
Plastic ones now they have,
all that stuff out
What's the
onto
name
the
of
street.
those
When you're
things?
through, then you make your driveway.
tracking pad,
So it keeps all of the,
Nice, what do you mean by knock off?
Yeah.
those yellow things they got now.
Black man.
yeah, but I mean, some of they do cobblestones or they do
Those are
gravel,
pavement
whatever.
blocks.
So it knocks the stuff off your tires.
Just-
before you back up. Anyway, we digress.
No, it is an issue.
So when
It is.
you're ready to bring that up, we'll delve into it.
I like looking at these, every curb cut, because they're all different.
All
And
right, so
anyway,
Motion to adjourn.
who's that? Bill has a motion to adjourn, seconded by Alan. We need a roll call here. I hate to say it.
Just put it down that we all voted yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alan? Aye. Bill?
Aye.
Nat?
I,
Lee?
I'll say aye after you tell me who moved and who seconded.
Phil made a motion, Alan seconded it. And we're to you,
Aye.
Ed,
Aye.
Snooky,
I
and Greta says aye. Okay, thank you so much, Tracy, thank you, Carol, thank you.
Yo, Bill,
Yes, sir.
Thank
I've
you,
got
everybody.
something to discuss with you.
Okay, I shall hang in there.